Perfect. Ready? I'm sorry. It's got a red box, so is it videoing?
Yes.
Okay, it started.
All right, well, before we begin, I want to say a few thank yous before I talk to you about the government system and the decisions that our building leadership team made. So first of all, I want to thank Mr. Riley and Mrs. Spring for even coming up with this project for you students. There's not a better way for you to learn about our government system and the importance of how things run in a democratic society than what you guys took part in. Right? Would you agree?
Yeah.
Much better than reading out of a book and taking a test. It's real life. And you're getting to make a contribution to your school. Secondly, I want to thank all the senators and representatives in both classes. So in this class right now, raise your hand if you were either a senator or a representative. All right. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Because it's my understanding you had to put in a little bit more time organizing things, and then you also came to present to our building leadership team. So thank you. I also want to thank all students who participated, came up with ideas. Mrs. Spring said that there were hundreds of ideas, and eventually it was narrowed down to a few of them, correct? So thank you all for taking part in this government system. Raise your hand if you think that this is going to propel you to be a citizen who gets involved in the democratic process. How many of you feel like you're on the right path? Okay? Good. Because you live in a country where you get to have a say. And there are many millions of people in this world who don't get a say in what their country looks like, how people act, the rules, anything. And now the same thing can be said for schools. A lot of times students don't have very much say into how a school operates. Well, at North Scott Junior High, we want to hear from students. Student voice is important to us. It doesn't mean that we're going to turn everything over and do everything that the students suggest. There's a process, and we use the government system for you to have an impact on your school. So let's give a round of applause to all the students who participated and came up with great ideas. Okay, so when it came down to the presentations, there were three, which then I forgot to write them down because somebody stopped me in my office. Three rules that we wanted to either consider or change. And that was the first rule that we thought would be appropriate was the dress code. And the presentation that came to us was to change the length of the 5-inch shorts to 3-inch shorts. That it's hard to find shorts of 5-inch length. And we can understand that. So whether it ends up at 3 inches or 4 inches, that is one of the rules that we, as a school, are going to look at changing. So congratulations! You've made an impact on your school rules. Big round of applause! Okay, the second thing is about lunchtime. And I'm going to answer this a couple of different ways. First, we listen to you on terms of giving you a chance to be able to go to the bathroom and get your books and those types of things. Well, as you know, we're going to 2 lunches next year and not having 3 lunches. And so the length of those lunches, hopefully, we've heard you, and will be long enough for you to be able to stop at your locker, go to the bathroom, and things like that. So you should have enough time to do that, we hope. The one thing we don't know is how long it will take, if we only have 2 lunches, people to get through the lunch line, and how long lunch should actually be. So you're going to have to bear with us on that one, because we're doing something new entirely, and we're going to have to learn from the way things go. Make sense? But you've had an impact there. We heard you. We've listened to you. The third thing is...
Is it a longer passing time?
No. We did not... we do not plan on changing anything with the passing times. And I'll open up for questions here in a second.
For the lunch one, at the end of lunch, you'll have a little extra time.
Well, we don't know if we'll let them out a little bit early or what it will be on paper, but we're going to try to make sure they have enough time to go to the bathroom. Also, don't forget, you can go to the bathroom during lunch. Raise your hand if you've ever asked one of the adults if you can go to the restroom during lunch. Okay, so quite a few hands are up. That is always an alternative. That is always an option. Okay, the other one that came to us, which was intriguing, and this is up for consideration. I'm not committing to making this change. And that is, as we go next year to club days, the use of cell phone on those club days. Okay? And let me tell you, there are two sides to this coin. One is, do we let students use phones to text each other and things like that, which has no educational value whatsoever, or do we let you use cell phones and have, in some way that is educational? Because that's what we're here for, right? Your education. So what I commit to that as president of North Scott Junior High School, or also known as principal, but in the government system we'll use the term president, is to at least think about it. I'm not promising you that we're going to make that change, that we're going to give that to you, but you've at least got in the heads of many of our staff members to think about it. Okay. At this time, I leave it open to questions. Mason, ask your question again.
Oh, I didn't have a question.
Okay, about passing time. We did not change the passing times.
No.
Does anybody else have a question? All right, well, thank you very much for your participation. Thanks for listening. Have a great summer, and I look forward to seeing these changes next year. So long.